Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Brokers Traders Espresso with me, Darison Chauskas. Today's the 12th of July, 2018. So welcome everyone. Welcome to this Thursday's morning session where we're going to have a look at a few instruments that I believe that are quite interesting to have a look at. And yeah, we're going to examine those. And but before we do that, let's quickly as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So the content of this webinar does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Also, just a very quick reminder of our JFD Brokers webpage here, and specifically our research page here. If you go here, research, and click JFD Research, it will take you to our webpage, which we update on a daily basis. We throw out different trading shoutouts, different technical analysis, and of course our daily analysis that we produce every morning. So it's currently getting prepared, and yep, please feel free to check us out later on, and I think you can find it useful. So, but for now, of course, guys, let's jump into the charts. So the first one I want to touch on is the DAX. Now, DAX, if we're gonna have a look at this bigger picture, and actually, this is what I want to show you. Let's click on the weekly chart in this one. So you can see that DAX kind of it continues to kind of move higher, but nevertheless at the same time gets held here by this downwards moving resistance line running here since around mid-January. So for now, as you can probably see, it seems to be coiling up. Now it seems to be forming this triangle formation, and yep, it's currently seems to be coiling up and moving towards the apex here. Now if we look at the daily chart, certainly at the moment we can see that there is a bit of negativity getting showing up here in this index, but like I said, yep, at the moment it seems that this is the direction that it's moving. It's moving towards the apex of this, let's say, so-called triangle formation, and we could see maybe a bit of a further decline here and to the downside, but currently you can see that it's getting held here around by this 12,400, do apologize guys. So around this area here it's getting held right now. So of course we could eventually position ourselves for today. Looking at the cash market right now, we can see that we're getting a bit of recovery, so we might open the day a bit in the positive here. So, and basically this is how we could potentially position ourselves for a possible trade. So currently looking at the cash market, like I said, the index is trading at around 12,470 approximately there. So currently, like I said, we could eventually start targeting this area right here, this little this gap here that we had, this level here at around 12,515, and this is what I'm talking about only for probably for today or tomorrow. If this continues to push higher and we eventually see a break here above the above this level, above the 12,515, well, keep an eye on the highs that we had here on the 10th, so basically 2 days ago. So keep an eye on this level right here at around 12,640 approximately there as the next potential area of resistance. But if that gets taken out, so then we could actually start making its way higher, and probably maybe in the longer term we could eventually hit this upper side of the triangle formation. So certainly something interesting, something good to watch here. But this scenario is only if we get initially get a break above the 12,515, and then of course a further price appreciation above the 12,640 marks, so approximately there. So keep an eye on this one, guys. Could be quite interesting. Certainly if this level here holds, the 12,515 level holds, well, we could eventually see maybe something like a drop, a move like this. Just let me just put it narrow here. So basically something like this, where we could start aiming for the lower side of the triangle formation. So this is quite an interesting index to trade, to be honest. But so for now, keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on a few levels here. On the downside, of course, it's not really that we're going to drop straight away towards the lower side of the triangle. First, initially, we're going to start hitting these areas of support at around 12,300 approximately there. So let me just kind of shift this arrow a little bit here. There we go, probably more accurate. From which, yep, a break below this area could lead to a test of the lower side that I was just talking about. So for now, guys, certainly keep an eye on these key levels. There are some good levels to watch here, especially like here on the upside, the 12,755 approximately there. Yep, and of course, yeah, further, if these levels don't hold, we could end up moving towards the upper side here. So good index to watch. We are in a nice spot here, and we could squeeze a trade out of this one. So let's have a look at one commodity, or should I say precious metal, that I really want to show you guys, and that is gold. And for this one, quickly, let me jump into the daily chart. And this is the picture that we're seeing today. So yesterday we had a nice drop. This is what I was talking about in my previous videos this week. So keep an eye. Well, should have kept an eye on this one. So a further decline, kind of below the 1251, 53 approximately there, certainly could lead to a test of the 1247 approximately there, and certainly if those levels don't hold, then yep, we could end up testing the upwards moving trend line here that has been running since around December 2015. So very good and very strong, important level here, which is getting tested right now. So we're seeing a small bounce here to the upside right now, but the question here is, if this is going to break, well, I mean, if this trend line is going to break, then certainly don't become skeptical of the upside straight away, because for the downside, kind of for us to see this one moving even lower here, we need to see not only a nice close below this upwards moving trend line, but also below this key level here at around 1237. So because that was kind of marked here, we had the December, last year's December lows here. So if we do get a nice close below these, below this level, then yep, it is opening the path. It could be opening the path to actually towards the lower side here, and especially maybe in the slightly longer term, we could start aiming for the July lows of 2017, and that was approximately around 1205. So keep an eye on this level, certainly, guys. Keep an eye, especially initially, keep an eye on this upwards moving trend line, and let's see what it wants to do with this 1237. So good levels to watch. If this suddenly reverses, well, I mean, for us to kind of still become more bullish, we need to see a nice move above the 1261 in order to kind of start considering higher levels. But for now, I believe that we could just stick here and kind of continue trading here, and yep, and until it kind of makes a nice move here, either through the upper side here at the level of 1261, or actually starts breaking the this upwards moving trend line and this 1237. So watch out for this one. Stay cautious, stay calm, and wait for a moment. Let's quickly have a look at a few pairs now, and the GBPUSD now. GBPUSD continues to push lower. Certainly we saw this drop yesterday. We broke this key area of support at around 132.50. Initially, in the beginning of the day, it looked like it wants to maybe push higher, but yep, this is the picture that we saw at the end of the day. So we closed below this 132.50, and to be honest, now it's a bit looking tricky, let's say like that, and we could be aiming for this level right here, but let me just actually put a 4-hour chart on this one. So So we could start aiming for this 131.70 mark approximately there. Now certainly a nice break below that area, below this area, could open the path towards these lows that we saw here recently at around 130.50, or actually maybe even before that we could start hitting this 131 mark approximately there. So very good potential area of support at around 131. But like I said, if that doesn't hold, well, I mean, like I said, we could see a move towards this 130.50. Now keep an eye on this one. This is only, of course, if we start breaking the 131.70 mark. On the upside, well, probably we could start getting rid of this level right here. Maybe this, looking at the 4-hour chart, we can see that it's becoming a bit irrelevant, this 132.50. And what also, by the way, what I want to show you guys quickly is I'll also mention on the 4-hour chart, we do have, well, something maybe like a head and shoulders here forming. So currently we can see that we're slightly just below maybe the neckline. We're actually we're already below the neckline if we draw it this way. So something could maybe be out of interest for you, but it's a bit of an ugly, I would say, a bit of an ugly head and shoulders. So that's why I just don't put too much emphasis on it. Just something to kind of have in mind, and yep, just to keep an eye on. So basically on the about the upside, if we do get a move above this 132.90 mark approximately there, then this could, yep, open the path towards these highs that we had recently at around 133.65. Let me just quickly mark that one for you, which could be a good area of potential resistance. But that's only, of course, if we get a nice pop here above the 132.90. This is only then we can start considering this higher level here. So for now, just keep on monitoring this one, guys. I mean, certainly at the moment it's looking more bearish than bullish. So the first good level to watch is the 131.70, and of course if it starts breaking it, have a look at these levels that I was just talking about. So one more pair that I really wanted to show you is the USDCAD. Now USDCAD had a fantastic day yesterday. Nice move here. Certainly people were trading it. Some of you probably got stopped out. So this is how it kind of developed over in the beginning of the day. So before the BOC came out with the statement and interest rates, we had a nice initial drop here below this 131.250 that I was talking about in my previous videos. We had a nice drop here. It probably well, met its support at around 130.600, 650 approximately there. Met its support and then quickly reversed and moved higher, broke this key area of resistance as well that I was talking about, and then pushed and met its resistance at around 132.200, or slightly below the 132.250, so which we have here. Now let's put a 4-hour chart on this one actually quickly, because it will be easier to see, because this is what happened yesterday. Yep, we can see that, yep, a lot of people got stopped out here because everybody was going long probably around the 131.600, then they had their stop losses around this low, around the 131.250. And well, these things happen, guys. I mean, that's why you place your stop losses, and then you quickly probably re-enter a position if you see the price quickly accelerating back up here. So at the moment, certainly we could see maybe a bit of a continuation here to the upside, but for us, we would need to see a nice move here towards the 132.250 initially, and then maybe start seeing some breaks where we could then considered a further move towards the 132.65 mark. So but for that, like I said, we only need to see a nice break here, above the 132.250. So for now, guys, keep an eye on it. Certainly you could end up positioning yourselves for a possible trade, maybe like going long here towards the 132.65 and having your stop loss somewhere around the 132 mark, so approximately there. So very short very short trade, I would say. we could, like I said, we with a very tight stop loss and a potential area of TP here at around 132.65. And one last pair that I really wanted to touch on is, for this one I need to put a daily chart, and that's USDJPY. Now USDJPY, this is what I was talking about, and look at the move yesterday. I mean, that was just wonderful, and we moved above the 111.400. We managed to hit this long-awaited 112 area, and we're seeing this continuation to the upside. We're just moving above it, so this is where it's becoming interesting now. We could start examining these levels right here. First, of course, the first good potential area of resistance would be around the 113.400. Now this is something for a longer term, but if we look at the 4-hour chart, let me just quickly zoom out here. If we look at a 4-hour chart, we could start looking for some peaks here, and a good potential area could be this one right here. There we go, and that's around the 112.800 mark, so approximately there. Let me just kind of drag this one here so we can see that at some point in time it acted as a very good area of resistance here and here. Certainly we could, like I said, we could consider that as a potential area, but this is more something of a tentative area here for this resistance area. So for now, guys, keep an eye on the slightly longer term one, the 113 that I was just talking about, the 113.400 approximately there. Certainly we could see a bit of a retracement here, a move lower. Now this is where it could become interesting. We could see a test of the 112 again, and then of course if this decides to drop further, well, we could end up moving a little bit lower here, and we could end up maybe even going back towards this 111.400 for a nice bounce here and a move higher. So this is just an idea. Certainly at the moment this pair continues to look strong, and it could potentially move higher, but probably will make a bit of a retracement here to the downside and then make another move higher. Okay, I hope you found it useful. So yep, thank you very much for watching and listening, and I hope you have a great European session, guys. If you want to join me later on at my Traders Tea Time at 13:15 GMT, 14:15 British Summer Time. But for now, thank you very much, and bye bye.